Hey guys, how you doing? Ugo aka Mr. Tickzon aka Ugo. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to the 99 days of value. And today is day 4. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a lovely day. I hope you're, smiling, thriving, and not just surviving. I hope you're thriving. I hope things are going well with you. And yeah, today we're trying to hopefully add a piece of value to your life that will hopefully make your day better, brighter. And we're here every day until New Year's Day. So hopefully we send you into the new year. Great. And so the one piece of value we're going to be talking about today is one that kind of affects all of us, is around stress. They say stress is the biggest killer. Stress is the one that, affects our immune system. It affects everything that's going on in our life, and it's really what's probably affecting most of us in our day to day. And one of the reasons for that, I call this the eternal human struggle. And the eternal human struggle is to establish balance. Like, it's that one of the hardest things for us to do is to establish balance. And when I say establishing balance, it's about, making a set time and priority, across the board that kind of manages everything that you're doing. So whether that be health and well-being, your work, your goals, progressing, education, just bring, your quality relationships between your friends, family, and others. And it's one that is very hard to kind of balance. And typically we get stressed when we are shifting our attention to one more than the other. And we either get stressed or we neglect something else that also frustrates us in the back end. So maybe you're putting too much time into relationships, but you forget about your work, and there's frustration there and otherwise. And these things can cause a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and ultimately it's not good for us. And so what we're going to be talking about today is about identify, like, some simple ways you can try and identify stress, and a simple way of trying to get back balance. Now, look, we're in a world where everyone's on the go, and I'm one to speak, but to be honest, balance is something I try to establish. I lose it a couple of times, can't lie, but I'm always trying to get back to balance because that's the only way I could be doing what I'm doing and getting this far. But a lot of us we're on go, and we're trying to achieve our goals, or we're so much into work, or we're so much trying to help people, and then we don't end up taking a break or trying to make time for any other things in our life. So if you're into business or you're into volunteering or whatever you're into, you're so ingrained into it. And the truth of the matter is that if you don't give your body time to rest or to recoup, it will do it for you. So that's really what it is. So your body will shut down at some point if you don't make time for it to recoup. So, you do that by getting ill. I am kind of ill right now, can't lie, so it gave me my own warning. But it will let you, like, if you keep going and you don't make time to rest, sleep, eat, all those kind of things, then, yeah, your body will shut down. So what is an easy way to kind of identify stress? Now, it kind of goes back to some things that we've kind of spoken about in the past around, trying to understand yourself a bit more. Now, most people, we identify that we're stressed at the back end. By the time stress is affecting you physically, you're already, like, let's say, overstressed. Like, if that makes sense. It's like, it's almost like by the time you realize you're speeding is when the speed camera lights went off. It's already too late. By that time, tickets coming through and everything. So most people do it when it affects them physically, but the best way to identify it is when you start seeing changes in behaviors that weren't previously there. So if you see that you're not eating as you used to, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not things that you had a lot of energy for, you weren't putting energy into, there's subtle ways of you recognizing that you are stressed. So, and obviously some of them kind of come up subtle because sometimes you're so busy that you begin to neglect these things. So you're so busy you forget to have breakfast, you forget to have lunch, and then you're having lunch, dinner in the night, and then you're putting your body out of whack, out of balance, that it's in a way that you by the time you're stressed, you've kind of got these bad habits to a way that you kind of miss it. So an easy way to kind of check whether you're stressed is, if you're an insomniac and you're up all night, you're not going to identify you're stressed by being, checking that I'm awake at 4 a.m. That's not a difference in your life. That's what you're used to. But if you're somebody that, now you're struggling to sleep, or now you're getting a bit irritable by little sounds, or, you're not able to make that demarcation between work and life, you know, all those kind of things that like subtle things you used to do before, like turn off your work phone, now your work phone is on. You know, you're introducing little things into your life that's going to make you more stressed. Even though we do it with good intention, it's good for you to kind of be able to shut off from certain things, and be able to switch. You know, people say that they're good at multitasking, but you're not necessarily good at multitasking. You're really just switching your priorities here or there. And so in the first video, I said I could see what you care about by, you know, how you use your money and, you know, your time. Wait, no, money and your time. I said the two most important ways of me seeing what you care about is how you use your money and your time. Well, there's a third one which I didn't mention. I was saving it for day 4, which is your energy. And so how you allocate your energy is as important as you allocate your time and your money in order for you to make sure you're not stressed. So when it comes to getting things in balance, you need to make time for you to be eating well to some extent, making time for you to be trying to, you know, exercise a little bit or do some kind of something that kind of gives your body the energy to keep moving forward. On a mental health point of view, anytime you go to a mental health professional, one of the first things they'll tell you to do is to exercise. It's really good for the body, good for the heart, good for the mind. And trying to eat well and make time for, like, you know, cooking, meal preps, meeting up with friends. If you're so busy that you've not made time to see your friends, your family, your siblings, then you're probably going to get stressed at some point. You know, about establishing a stress-free life is about kind of divvying up your energy into all the different pockets that kind of sustain you in general. And one good way to kind of help you get some balance, if you don't have one, and this one will 100% help you get less stressed, is by having a hobby. A hobby is a very important checks and balances to make sure that you are having a stress-free life. And anything can be a hobby. Now, what is my definition of a hobby? My definition of a hobby is something that as you are doing it, you are not thinking about anything else. That is my definition of a hobby. When you are doing this certain thing, you are thinking about nothing else. If you can be doing something and you're thinking about something else, that's not a hobby. If you know you enjoy cooking, but whilst you're cooking, you're thinking about this file I need to do, that's that cooking session right there. It was not a hobby session. And you even saw it because while you were cooking, there was no passion and energy in the way you were cooking. So anything that you can do, whether it's art, you know, even sometimes certain activities that we think are refreshing, like going on holiday, going to see friends, they're not good hobbies. They're not, sometimes they're rejuvenating in the fact that we're improving the quality of our relationships, which are important for us to establish balance, but they're not necessarily things that kind of make us in this moment. So if I'm playing football, in that moment while I'm playing football, I can't lie, all I can think about is like, bro, pass me the ball, let me go and score. 2 goals up this season, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, a hobby is something that's good for that, and also one that's good for you in terms of de-stressing. Now, this one can be a stressful thing to start off with, if I'm being very honest. But once you get into the mood of it, you actually understand it a bit more, which is spending time with yourself. Because sometimes we are stressed because we have too many thoughts in our head. And so, because we have too many thoughts in our head and that our head is overloaded, and also because we have our phone at all times, you have to understand our brain's like a computer. It's continuously processing information that we never let it actually stop. So realistically, we don't actually give ourselves a time for our brain to just stop processing information. Like even lights being on, coming like this now, my brain's processing information, like taking the light, all of this kind of thing. It's a lot of information to take in. And so that's the reason why most people are, you know, they're bright ideas. A lot of people's greatest ideas, or when people are most free, is when they're in the shower. Because in the shower, for most people, is really the only true time they're by themselves. So try to do these activities that you're just by yourself, spending time with yourself, letting the thoughts flow through. Great ideas can come through, but you can also take time for yourself. So in terms of taking stress, trying to identify it early by checking that patterns in your life have changed, or things that were important to you have neglected, especially things that are affecting your physical health. Because at some point, if you're not managing stress, your body will do it for you. It will just, if you don't slow down, it will slow you down. You get sick, you'll be so confused. I was fine yesterday. Mine hit me like a brick. And it will probably in the future, because as much as you get balance, it's something that you have to stay on top of. But then obviously establishing things like a hobby, spending time with yourself, and ultimately doing a sense check on what you're doing. And obviously speak up. you know, in terms of like, once you identify your stress, communicate that you're stressed and put in checks and balances to not go overload, whether that be workload, whether that be the amount of things you're juggling, whether that be, you know, saying no to that friend's birthday, or saying no to like helping out to do the garden because you said yes to 5 things and you realize this week you did something every evening. Identifying when you're stressed early and trying to manage that can very much lead to a longer life for you, and all of us would be happy to see you here a little bit longer. So I hope you've had a lovely day. This is the 99 days of value. Hopefully it's added value to you, or potentially to somebody that you might share this with. Obviously, I encourage you to add any piece of value into the comments below if you feel so. But yeah, we'll be here every day. We'll try our best. Sometimes the uploading and the times we do this, because, you know, we're trying to get balance. So sometimes you just got to take a nap. You know what I mean? But hope you have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.